Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Bronte. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've had a nice January in your books. So I suppose the title of this video will suggest that this is my January recap. I'm just going to focus on my three main books for this recap. Last week we talked about my common planner, so you've kind of seen that up to date. So yeah, I think that these three guys are the ones we should talk about today. I am drinking my first cup of coffee of the morning, so I may be a little incoherent. So you'll have to forgive me there, but yes, we can do this. So here we have my Hobonichi Weeks, my Hemlock and Oak, and the Hemlock and Oak, is the horizontal flex. And then this is my Hobonichi Cousin Hon. So these are my three main books, and they have served me very well in January. I am really enjoying the Hemlock and Oak. This was a bit of a wild card because I've never used their planners before, and I very spontaneously pre-ordered this actually back in June of 2024. And so because so much time had elapsed, I was not 100% sure I would get along with it still, but honestly this guy is I'm really loving it. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that. And the weeks is, I'm doing this all out of order. I should tell you what each thing is. The Hobonichi Hon is my journal, the Hemlock and Oak is my planner, and the Weeks is my reading journal. The reading journal has a little bit, this is the one that I don't update very often. It's more of a for fun sort of thing. And when I write in my Hon pretty much every single day. And I do tend to write about books, not every day, but I do write about books in here. And so when I'm kind of backfilling the weeks, I tend to look to the Hon for a little bit of guidance about what happened on what day. About if I finished a book on a specific day. The Hon tends to hold that information for me. So the Weeks is, I always describe it as superfluous. It's kind of like a for fun sort of thing, because I really like this little format, and I think it works really well as a reading journal. But it does tend to be the one that gets updated the least. So I guess that's something to talk about. But let's look at the Weeks first, because I do love this, and the Weeks was my first foray into Hobonichi in 2022. I got a Spring Start Weeks, and that was my first ever Hobonichi planner, and that's where the obsession began. So I kind of feel very attached to the Weeks, but I don't know if I will get one for next year. I know it's only January. But yeah, so this is the Harvest Plaid Weeks. I really love this cover. I think it's beautiful. And it matches nicely kind of with the colour palette we've got going on with the other books. That was unintentional, but it's nice that they all kind of are they're like a little team. So let's find the beginning of January. Okay, so the 1st of January was a Wednesday, so that was this week. It looks like I finished reading Anathema by Kerry Lake this week, and I really enjoyed that book. I gave it 5 stars. And what else have I written in here? I was doing some knitting over Christmas when I was at my mum and dad's house. I came back to London on the 5th and was greeted by lots of Happy Mail, which was very exciting. So I made a note of that in here. I do call this my reading journal, but it's kind of reading / hobbies. So sometimes I'll talk about Happy Mail, or for example, Coffee Monsters Co. shop updates and things. I will also tend to write about the shop updates that Helen does. Okay, so then the second week of January, I was reading Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I had that as an advanced reader's copy. That is now out, and it was really good. If you are familiar with Grady Hendrix, he writes, you'll know that he writes really great kind of like they're like clever horror books. Witchcraft for Wayward Girls was really good. I gave it 4 stars just because the beginning was kind of slow. There was a lot of exposition, but the story was fantastic. It was really good. Okay, so yeah, here Friday I got some Coffee Monster's Happy Mail, so I wrote that in here. I think that's when my Silly Birds washi tape arrived, and I really enjoy that. I need to use that more. I did a reel filling up this spread for Instagram. I kind of did a 2-part reel. I did part of it was writing and then part of it was adding some stickers, but since filming that reel I've added more writing. And I really love this. It's so full, and this is kind of how my reading journal is supposed to look. This is how this book is supposed to look. Because, as I say, I don't always write about books. I write about here. I got a Peach Riot blind box. I got Frankie lily pad. This is her lily pad that she sits on. I really love these Peach Riot figures. So I'm definitely gonna try and collect some more of those if they bring out a new series. Yeah, I'm going to Pop Mart with my friend tomorrow. So I also wrote about how I signed up for a new Patreon Happy Mail. I've signed up for like somebody's Happy Mail tier. I signed up for Erin Kubo. I signed up for her Patreon, and the theme for January is like vintage toys, and it's just the coolest theme. And you get a sticker sheet, and I think this month she's doing a risograph print, which is very nice. And then I've finished a book this week. I finished reading Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. I didn't give it a rating. I probably wouldn't recommend this book. It was like quite like an intense, dark romance. Like, proceed with caution, I suppose. What else? What else did I write? This is hard to read. Oh, some exciting PR stuff happened this week. There was a Coffee Monster shop update, and I wrote here that I got the washi tapes that I've been wanting for ages. I got coffee time and tea time washi tapes. I've wanted those for ages. I think they're coming. They're on their way to me anyway. Maybe they'll arrive next week. And then here I wrote across the full kind of spread here. I've never done that in this week's, but I had lots to say, so I thought I'd maximize this block of time block of space that I had here. And I think I'll do that more often, because when I am writing reviews on this right hand page, I often run out of space. If I finish more than one book in a week, I tend to run out of space, and that's what happened this week. I think I finished 3 books this week. January I've read a lot, which is kind of weird. I don't know, I've managed to read a lot of books in January. And so then this is last week. As you can see, there is nothing but this very nice deco, which I'm pleased with. And I will need to fill this out. And then this is now the current week that we are on. It's Friday the 31st of January today, so kind of the perfect day to film this video. And yeah, you can see that I don't always keep this up to date. And I don't have next week decorated, so I think I will do that today for a bit of a break, because I have lots of things on my to-do list today. So yeah, that's the reading journal. That's kind of how this goes. This is an ideal week, but you know, some weeks are not so ideal. Like this week, for example, is the week of Christmas, and it was very kind of half full, half empty. But you know, sometimes that's how it goes. This year I've been adding ephemera into this book. I didn't do that last year really, but we can see I've got my Labubu and more Labubu stuff, because December was my month of obsessing over Labubus. Yeah, but I like the ephemera. I need to add some more stuff in. Maybe I've got something I can add for this week. We'll see. That is my weeks. Okay, so now we have my Hobonichi Cousin, Hon. Apologies for the low lighting today, by the way. It's very rainy. It's like, you know, that like drizzle that looks kind of like mist? It's like that today. Yesterday it was really sunny and lovely, but that was when I was at work, and obviously when I want to film a video it's gloomy. Okay, yes, this is my Hon. I am so happy. Literally every time I look at this cover, I'm like, I did a good job. Yeah, I love this cover, and I really hope I can replicate something similar for next year. I think this is the vibe I want to go for going forwards with cover decoration. This kind of little patchwork thing. This was like a museum-y type theme. And yeah, I'll talk about it, but I think sticking to a theme is something I'm really into and find very useful, for want of a better word, for keeping decoration so cohesive. Yeah, I think it's nice to follow a little bit of a theme rather than just like a, not that there's anything wrong with just like chucking lots of stuff down and like mixing lots of different things together. I also like doing that, but I think somehow making something look really polished, I don't know what the word is, I think that, yeah, the theme thing is a good way to go. So January starts right at the beginning of my book because I have removed the monthly and weekly pages. I basically took out all of the pages up to the turning a page to a new year. So this has got only daily pages remaining. When I talked about this in a video a little while ago, a few people asked why I had done it, and it was a really good question, like, why would you do that? Not that people were asking it in like a rude way, it was just like a, why did you do that? The answer is, I had already bought this book and I wanted to make use of it, but the thing that was putting me off was having those weekly pages, and so I just decided, fuck it, and I took them out, and therefore I could use the book that I had bought, you know, spent money on, whatever. I do have a Paper Test Designs undated yearly notebook, and I'm going to use that next year, I think. If my plans do not change. I know it's January. If my plans don't change, I'll use that next year instead of the Hobonichi. Because it is undated, I felt like it was okay to put it away for a year. And yeah, I don't know. I think that I've been thinking of ways to not have to kind of tear up, for want of a better phrase, like to remove stuff from a Hobonichi book, because these guys, you know, this book is expensive, and we have had quite a lot of issues this year with paper quality, which I thought I had escaped, but this week I've encountered some issues with the paper in this book. So yeah, I think next year I'll go in a different direction, but that's not a topic of conversation for this video. This is a very rambly video, sorry. Okay, so we start with my mood board, my vision board, which I'm really pleased with, and it's really nice that I can flip past it when I open my book. Yeah, I really like this. So I have been doing kind of a collage page to start the month, and I've used stickers from Killer Views. Kelly, the owner of the shop, has these beautiful kind of like calendar style stickers, like collage stickers. She is fantastic, and I love her shop so much. So yeah. So going back to the talk of themes, I have been doing a theme for my decoration for the month. January's theme was museum, and February's theme is collage. I know there's a super loose themes, but just a tiny bit of direction is very beneficial. So, for me anyway. So yeah, we start the month with this beautiful tape from Nyret. I think that's how you say the brand name. This is quite a new purchase of mine. I got mine from Miso Paper, and I just loved how like simple, and I don't know, like it's super minimal, but it's just very beautiful, this tape. Yeah, so I I write my journal entries with fountain pen, and everything else I write with a Unijet stream. I have quite a lot of different Unijet streams. Yeah. So I've got these are Hobonichi ones. I've got these two Sanrio, a Pom Pom Purin, and I can't remember this guy's name. How do you say it? Hangiodon. I just think he looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I think that's so funny. And this one is just like this is the grown-up one. Not that these aren't, but anyway. I really love this pen, and it writes really, I think it's such a reliable pen, like you can really write in any book with it, and it makes your paper really nice and crinkly. So yeah, this is the start of the new year. I have been adding in quite a lot of ephemera, and I've been doing some different things with layouts and stuff this year. So you can see I kind of divide the page up quite a lot, and I find that very useful, so that these big pages don't feel intimidating, or they don't kind of end up looking a bit, I find if I write straight across in like a block of text, it can look a bit meh to my eyes, and so splitting things up like this is just a bit more interesting for me. So yeah, I tried some new things in January. For example, here I wrote straight across the date that's printed in the book. I tried this out because I have these dated stickers from Planner Monkey Co., which were originally ordered to go into my Paper Test Designs book, but I'm not using it. So I thought I would just use them in here because I really like the Planner Monkey, these kind of functional stickers of hers. I use loads of different ones from her. I love her typewriter font. So yeah, I really wanted them to be in this book. And I think I've stuck them in, or I've put them down for February as well, but when I get to March I'm going to find a different place for them so I can potentially write over the date more easily, because I really like it and this is the date, so it doesn't really, you know. So I also got a printer for myself with my some money I got for Christmas. So I have been able to print photos and book covers much more easily for myself. I occasionally print stuff out, or last year I occasionally printed stuff out at work. We have a LaserJet printer at work, so it prints quite dark. I just have a regular inkjet that I just bought for myself. It's like a really cheap HP desk jet. I think it was 40 quid, and it's really good, and it prints on sticker paper. I did get some sticker paper, so yeah. So yeah, loads of ephemeras going in here. I kind of feel a bit more confident putting ephemera in because there's no weekly pages to take up extra space, so I feel like I can bulk up with ephemera. So this second week of January I was writing with my Oblation Olive ink that I got on my trip to New York last year, and I just love that colour so much. It goes with so many different things. So in here there's a book review. We've got washi swatches. These are from the washi station. I love the tapes from the washi station. I recently did a decorate with me video using one of their tapes, and guys, they're just stunning. I literally could spend all my money in that shop. This was when I got my first blind box, the Peach Riot blind box. My friend Raquel gifted this to me, and I love it, and so I went and bought myself another one, which was the Frankie lily pad that I showed you earlier. My Happy Mail from Taylor Ryan Design arrived. I signed up for her Magic Mail tier, her subscription, and I copied the receipt on my printer. I scanned it in and printed it out so the receipt paper won't fade because it was on like thermal paper. Coffee Monster's Happy Mail. This is a sticker skeleton because I think I spent loads of time organising stickers on that afternoon or evening. 11th of January was my mum's birthday. I did a currently inked scribble here so I could remind myself, and I have this dot on the side of the page that I can find it easily. This is like my reference dot. I should talk about that. I do use dots, these stickers, as like reference points. So the sticker on the side of the page means it's a reference item, so I can come back to this and see what ink is in what pen. But I have dots that signify knitting, books, planners and stationery, and then the scribble is personal notes, that is not a journal entry. So here, for example, I wrote a little note about books, and that's tagged with this green dot. So every time I see one of those green dots, I know I've written about a book, which I find useful. So the third week of January, I was writing with Troublemaker Petrichor, which was in my Kaweco medium. It's such a good colour, but I really find those Troublemaker inks, they're troublemakers because they're so dry. I think you really have to you have to really shake the pen a lot when you write. I don't know how else to describe it. So at this point in the month, I trialled something else that was a bit new for me. I wrote this journal entry on this Tuesday and then left the rest of the page blank because I didn't have anything else for that date to fill it up. And then the Wednesday, I wrote this note here and then my journal entry, and then I had this space that was empty. And on the Thursday, I made a note saying that I had a fair amount of empty space and that I was thinking I would go back and fill it up at a later date if I needed to. And so I've now been doing that. So on the Thursday, I went to my friend's house for dinner. So I printed off these pictures of my time at my friend's house. And then I also wrote this book review because I finished this book, Den of Vipers, on the Thursday. And the Thursday was mainly taken up with this massive ramble about washi tapes. Yes, that's something I will talk about in a future video. But yeah, it's something exciting, and that's why I wrote so much about it. And then, let's see, Friday, I wrote this note. Yikes, I did not write anything at all yesterday because I was at Jamie's house for dinner. So I need to do some catching up. So this page was like basically blank on Friday, and this was all written on Friday. So I'm kind of just like, I'm basically kind of filling the page. If the page is empty, I'm just filling it in at a future date because I need the space, if that makes any sense at all. Here are some notes about the TCMC shop update. There's a bit of Peach Riot packaging. And I finished 2 books over this weekend, and the book covers are here. These lovely letter stickers are from Roxana, Apple Tree Valley on Ko-fi. And I got those from her as a printable. And I love them. I just had to cut them all out individually, so it took me a while. But I printed them on sticker paper, so yeah, it's very easy to pick them out and put them down. So let's have a look. This week I wrote with Diamine Eclipse, which is it looks quite close to black, but it's actually quite purpley. I don't really know. It's kind of an unusual colour. I got some happy mail from my friend Georgia, who is Georgia Journals. I ordered a few things from her new shop update, and she has such beautiful stickers, and yeah, I had to put that one in here. I had this little journal entry because on Tuesday, this wasn't journal entry, this was like notes. Tuesday I had a big planning session with my partner for my sticker shop, which is opening soon. And these were some of my test prints, which I stuck down on Sunday because I just left the rest of this space blank. Yes, I have a sticker shop that's opening at some point in February. Obviously I'll keep you updated. I have filmed a decorate with me using my stickers, which will be up as like a bonus video at some point next week. Yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm excited for you guys to see what I've been doing. it was one of my really big goals for 2025 was to open my sticker shop, and I've managed to do quite a chunk of work on it already in January. So yeah, I'm really proud, honestly. I don't say that very often, but I'm proud of myself. So yeah, a lot of the notes for this week were me talking about the steps I have done to set up my shop. So Wednesday I placed an order for my sticker sheets. I think Tuesday I ordered freebie bookmarks that I'm going to be giving out with every order, and branded stickers for packaging. My shop is going to be called Dear Whoever, or it is called Dear Whoever. So those I ordered on the Tuesday. The Wednesday I placed my order for my sticker sheets, and they went to print on the Friday. Yeah, I guess what's the notes here? I was reading A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. Also had that as an advanced reader's copy. It's out on the 1st of April. It's fantastic. It's the second book in the Shadow of the Leviathan series. The Tainted Cup is the first book that's been out for like a year, so it's fantastic. It's so good. If you like science fiction or kind of like I don't even know what the genre is. It's amazing. It's like a mesh of fantasy and science fiction, and also kind of like some kind of horror elements, I suppose, yeah. Anyway, I finished that on Saturday, so my little review is here. Friday, I filled up this empty space with some of my favourite elements from the sticker sheets that I've designed. These were test prints I did myself. You can see here, I've got some here. They look much better on the actual sticker paper that we'll be using. The colours are very saturated, and I'm so pleased. See the fish. Yeah. And then, yeah, Saturday I came home, I was working, it was very busy, I think. Or I seem to remember, it was very busy. And I had some happy mail from Kelly, Killer Views. So that is in here. She always writes me a beautiful note, or like, she always writes me notes, and yeah, she's such a lovely woman. And there's support your local witch stickers on the outer packaging on the envelope, and I had to stave that, so yeah. What else have we got here? My boyfriend brought some little cakes back from this cute French deli we have near us, so I had to cut some packaging out. This was a list of books I want to read soon, and I just actually printed out book covers for these ones. So yeah, I like to have the book covers ready to go-ish, but then I keep printing book covers, and then I keep buying new books and reading the new books. I need to stop doing that. So this Monday my bookmarks on my stickers arrived, so I obviously had to put them in here as well. And the colours just kind of matched what was already on the page, so it was kind of amazing. Worked out really well. This week I have been writing with Wearingeul Phantom of the Opera, and I love this blue. I think it's so interesting, and it's got like a red, it's not shimmer, it's like it's one of those, is it called a chameleon ink? It's got like a red tint to it. I just don't know how to describe it. I'm so sorry, ink friends. Maybe I'll look it up when I'm editing. But yeah. Here, oh, this was exciting. I booked to go back to New York with my boyfriend in June, because I'm 30 in June. Can you believe people turn 30? I feel weird about it because it's a big round number. Like the last time I reached a round number was when I was 20, and then the time before that was when I was 10. Like there's a lot of stuff that's happened in those 10-year periods, and it feels weird. I'm not like sad or anything, it's just so weird. Like, my mum had me when she was 30, which also feels very weird, because I cannot imagine having a child at the stage of life I am at right now. Like, no. But anyway, we're going back to New York, and I'm so excited. So yeah, we booked that this week, and I will be planning the trip until we go. I'm so excited. So, oh, here, look, I was writing about, I already made a wish list of stuff I want for to get in New York, because obviously I'm going to save up a ton of money, because it's like a big blowout trip. And then last night was Thursday, so I finished another advanced readers copy, Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen, yesterday. Also fantastic. I really have hit the jackpot with advanced readers copies this year. This is like a really interesting take on a vampire novel. It's kind of a cross between like a vampire and a possession story. I really liked it. Gave it 5 stars. It's quite short, so the pacing is really good. There's like no like extra exposition. It's kind of a little bit bare bones in that respect. Like it just kind of throws you straight into the story, and I like books that do that. Sometimes, you know, with fantasy books, sometimes you do need world building. Like last night I started listening to the audiobook of House of Earth and Blood. I like to have audiobooks on in the background often in the evenings when I'm working at my desk, and I had an Audible credit, so I got House of Earth and Blood because when I read it a few years ago, last year, the year before, I think I read it in 2023, I think. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. But listening to that, I'm like, oh my God, this exposition, like the world building. I see like people making memes about the world building in that book, and like now I'm re-listening to it, I'm like, whoa, yeah, I get it. This doesn't do that. So yeah. And then I just had a little journal entry down here. And I just wrote quickly about, I got invited to a book event as a PR, like, influencer person yesterday, which feels so surreal. So yeah, I'm going to a book event in February, like, as an influencer. Who would have thought? That's so weird. Anyway, that's exciting. And then, yeah, this is today. I haven't written anything because I haven't needed to so far. And then we go into February, which has its cover page all ready to go, and the theme is collage. So, yes, I'll show you the pages I did later on in the week. I had to record the video in the evening after work so that I have my like desk lamp on. It's not natural lighting, but I think it's going to be a nice video. So. Okay, I think I've talked about this book for long enough. Okay, so lastly we've got my Hemlock and Oak. I can't remember what this colour was called. It's a very nice colour. I'm really pleased I went with green. So the monthlies are kind of in the, like with the weeklies, they break up the weekly spreads. So here is January's monthly. I tend to use these just as like overview. I don't often fill these out. I just have events and like work days, and that's pretty much it. The first week of January was basically mostly, it was like half December, half January, right? So, and I wasn't doing anything. I was still at my parents' house, so I've actually just clipped it together with this clip I'm using to mark the month. But here, though, first full week of January. So this is how I'm using this book. I'll show you what an empty weekly looks like. It's basically like a giant weeks. We've got the like week to view on the left and then a blank page on the right. I am, like I do in my cousin, I'm dividing up these pages so it's a little less intimidating. Or like, I don't know, this is way more functional for me. So on this far left, yes, we've got this, I made this little column, and this is like work days, events. I'm using these stickers, I track my period, and I also put a sticker down every time I get a coffee out of the house. I have my list of stuff to do during the week. I do sometimes do a next week list. I haven't done that for a few weeks because I haven't needed to, but it's just if I think of something and the next spread is not set up. I'd rather write it here than like write it in a spot that's going to be unhelpful, if that makes sense. I have a list of content I want to post about. This is mainly for Instagram, or it is for Instagram, tends to be. I put a mood tracker in here and then a tracker for my medication. And then the rest of this page is like daily to-dos. And that's how it goes along. I think I've kind of refined the layout a little bit throughout the month because I've just kind of settled into this book. So these 2 weeks are pretty similar, but I did add this dividing line, and I changed the way I did my tracker for my medication. And then the following week, again, I've changed it by the trackers. Yeah, the trackers are the things that changed this week. I just was thinking about it then. So I added in the books I was currently reading, because I've always done that in my planners. And I like having that in here. And then this week I also added this like post on Instagram tracker, which I try to post on Instagram every day, but at the beginning of the year I was just not good at it. So that's why I added it in this week, because I really wanted to make a concerted effort to post on Instagram every week. And then this is the current week. I think this is looking very full and nice. Yeah, I have quite a long list for today. This is all the stuff for today. I don't need a to-do list, a day-specific to-do list every day, because I'm not off at home every day. I don't always get time to do chores and stuff after work. So often my to-do lists are for the days where I'm at home. I did have a Wednesday list here, because that's when I wanted to film my bonus video for YouTube about the decoration that I just mentioned. So I needed to write that down so I didn't forget. Oh, and this week also I moved the trackers around a little bit, because I felt like I didn't have enough time enough space, here to write books, because I had to write this current book, so I had to write it above the grid. So I shuffled stuff around, and I think this is better. So the following week I will set up like this as well. So yeah, I'm just really loving this book. It also has like a January, or it has like a space to do monthly reviews. And then it's also got like an overview for the coming month. So I wrote more about my shop and like goals to do things. Like it asks here, 3 ways you can carve out time for self-care. So I just wrote like, I want to read in bed every evening. And then we go to February's monthly. So yeah, that's how the book goes along, and I'm really enjoying this. Obviously haven't set up for next week, but maybe I should do that again. I should do that later. I've got lots to do today. But yeah, that's this book, and I'm really enjoying it. I am using something else as an everyday carry, which I'll probably talk about. Maybe I'll talk about that in a different video. I might do a video about specifically how I plan my time, maybe, if you're interested. Because I do have an everyday carry that's my Passport TN. It's currently in my work bag, and I don't really need to show it. Not in this video anyway. But yeah, because this is such a big heavy book, I finally worked out an everyday carry system that works alongside this. So this is kind of my desk planner. It stays on my desk, or it stays in the house. So yes, okay, I think that's everything. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this recap. I do try to do one every month. So yeah, next month there'll be, February's recap, and then I'll talk about the theme for February and all that sort of good stuff. And then I guess by that time I will have thought of my theme for my Hon for March as well. Yeah, okay. I hope that's been interesting, informative, useful, I don't know. But I will speak to you soon when Bronte from the past will talk to you about my stickers. And then next week's video, I don't know what that's going to be, but we can work that out. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you are enjoying your planners as well, your journals and your planners, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.